Good morning, Charlottesville. This is CBS News. I'm your host, Natie Hara, and this is your daily report. It's a tale as old as time that school districts are continually trying to remove the fine arts in favor of more academics. As the majority of schools are judged based on standardized test scores, they see music as a distraction that does not provide any tangible value. Especially after laws such as No Child Left Behind, the federal government tends to evaluate schools based on their academic performance, leading to an even higher pressure to score well. One study, done by the National Center for Education Statistics, describes how funding for education is spread across the federal, state, and local governments, with the federal government providing only 13%, the state 43%, and the local 44%. With the majority of funding coming from the state and local governments, the amount of funding each school receives varies considerably, coupled with the fact that taxes are the main source of income for these governments. Therefore, since wealthier localities pay more in taxes than poorer ones, there lies an imbalance of educational funding between different states as well as within a state. This reinforces notions that the rich continue to get richer, whereas the poor are unable to move up in social status because of the monetary barriers to education. As schools are struggling to keep their test scores up and balance a tight budget, it makes sense that music is the first thing schools want to cut. So why keep it? Why is music so important? What good is music? Answering these questions, we have Zoe Gray, the founder of the Vegetable Ensemble. She uses vegetables as a way of getting young children excited about playing music. In doing so, she hopes to convince the next generation of the incredible power of music. While it seems corny, she has really made a positive impact on many kids and is here to squash any questions or concerns about music.
Hi, I'm Zoe Gray and I'm the founder of Vegetable Ensemble. I know what you're thinking. How can an orchestra based on produce actually make a difference in the world, and more specifically in a child's music education? But the reality is that cultures around the world have different ways of teaching their children about music. And there's a huge range of techniques, from the Suzuki method to solfege, and there's no single right way to teach music or to get kids passionate about it. We often present music from other cultures to kids to get them to open their minds, especially because studies have shown that this allows young students to perceive a wide variety of unfamiliar sounds more comfortably. So why not extend this to unusual objects, and why not vegetables? Why can't music be fun? Many young students feel pressure to pick up an instrument because they know their parents want them to do it, and they fear a huge musical commitment that will require lots of practice. They lack this vital enthusiasm that should be sparking their pursuit of music in the first place. When I realized that a lot of my friends' kids didn't even want to look at an instrument because of this, I knew that there needed to be a new way to approach music, to take it back to basics and simply foster a love of sound. Kids should never be afraid to make music, and that's where Vegetable Ensemble comes in. Designed to capture the attention of young children, our group performs for your school with a unique set of vegetable instruments: carrots, gourds, cucumbers, peppers, even onion skins. This raw sound, pun intended, really communicates the power of music to the kids. That it's fun, that it's a form of creativity, self-discovery, and release. And more importantly, it proves to parents and teachers that the performing arts are essential for child development and should be supported financially in schools. By playing popular tunes like Disney songs, we excite the kids, and then we invite them to play on instruments too. And the excitement doesn't end there. Since our instruments don't exactly keep well, we turn them into soup for our audience after the performance.
Hello, my name is Peter Lee, and I am one of the many performers of Vegetable Ensemble. My main instrument is the clarinet, but on stage I play the carrot. Back in 2015, I was approached by Zoe, who had a wonderful idea. At first, I thought she was crazy because she was suggesting that we form a musical group filled with people who play vegetables as instruments. I could imagine telling my friend that I had become a vegetable performer, and I thought it was comical. But here I am, 3 years later, and I couldn't be happier with how much success we've had in inspiring children to pursue music. I've been with these other performers for some time now, and they're just a blast to be around. I know that they have the same passion for music like I do. When I perform, the first wave of excitement and cheers in the crowd still gives me chills. It's surprising how children know all the words to almost all of the songs that we play. It's actually astonishing. The way their faces light up when we play the first note is why I do this. I find that music is a gateway to improving my life. There are plenty of studies that show the benefits of music, especially in children. Music helps develop specific parts of the brain that control language and reasoning. Music itself is another language. People who don't know this language will see music like this, right? And they won't know what to make of it. But you show this to a musician, and they can turn these black dots and stems into beautiful pieces of music. Another thing that music does is that it engages their attention. This phenomenon isn't just in kids though. There are programs inside of prison systems that allow inmates to try out musical instruments. After they take that class, they're more inclined to pursue other educational interests, which in turn will help them get a job after they're released. Of course, I'm not saying that children and inmates are the same thing, but we should focus on the effect that music has. Music can inspire everyone, not just children, and it's something that we need in our lives.
Hi, I'm one of the Bush Hill Elementary School parents, Mrs. Lee, and my son Mason had the chance to see the Vegetable Ensemble perform last month in a school assembly. I can honestly say it was one of the best experiences he has ever had. I myself love music. I played percussion, drum set, piano, and guitar growing up. I was in multiple bands, orchestras, and ensembles each year, starting in the 5th grade when they let you choose an instrument to learn. So naturally, I'd hoped Mason would want to pursue music as well. But boy, was I wrong. Mason showed little to no interest when I talked to him about it, whether he, want to be in orchestra or in band. So it just didn't really seem fun to him, which I have to admit broke my heart slightly. But I couldn't force him to learn an instrument. Midway through his 5th grade school year, I think it was, the Vegetable Ensemble came to visit the elementary school. I had no idea how much of an impact it would have on Mason. I remember that day, it was all he could talk about when he got home. He kept saying, "Mom, Dad, can I please have some vegetables?" Which, if you've ever been a kid, you know isn't a normal desire. More specifically, he wanted some of the vegetables the ensemble played, which were kind of strange, being carrots, peppers, and squash, I think. I was blown away by the newfound love for music he had picked up, just from watching them perform. And it's adults performing with vegetables, yet it's this, organic thing that's creating this love for music in children. But I can honestly say that seeing the ensemble performed inspired my son to want to play music as well. And I think part of it was the novelty of the whole thing, because what kid doesn't love to play with their food and do something that's silly, I think the main appeal of the ensemble is also its choice of repertoire. Mason couldn't stop talking about all the Disney songs the group played. A lot of kids love Disney. They love Disney movies, and they love the Disney characters, and the music that accompanies them. Thus, by using such music, the group is really targeting what they know kids already like and are interested in, to try to instill this sense of curiosity in playing music. Personally, I'm just so thankful that someone had the idea for such a group in order to help inspire kids to at least try music. They don't have to continue with it or pursue it as a career, but it's a great way for anyone, not just children, to learn important life skills such as organization, time management, responsibility, creativity, and so much more.